Thank you. My name is Lisa Tresch, and I'm the director of Rising Village and the Rise Sewing Program. And I have a confession to make to you, something that I need to talk to you about up front. Actually, I don't sew. I'm no good at it. Tried it, just can't do it. So I'm not going to talk to you about the particulars of sewing or give you how-tos, but I want to change your perception about sewing in 5 minutes. And I want to do that by introducing you to 6 very amazing women. I want to start with Loon, who I met in April of last year. She is one of the estimated 10,000 to 15,000 refugees who are living in Tulsa. She is probably the feistiest one, actually. So she and I had lunch one day, and I told her that our nonprofit was helping to fund some women in income opportunities through sewing. And she leaned across the table from me and with a very determined look in her eye, and she said, "We can do this here in Tulsa." And I said, "We can?" And she said, "Yes, we're going to do this here in Tulsa." And I said, "Well, I'm with you. Let's do this here in Tulsa." And so she immediately began helping me make connections with people in the community. And so the first person that we made a connection with 3 weeks later was Seen. Seen had just moved to Tulsa from North Carolina, where she had completed a program just exactly like the one that we were getting ready to start. And in fact, she was already teaching 5 women to sew in her apartment using one sewing machine. And so we brought her on board, and she was our first instructor to be able to connect with the Burmese women that were largely enrolling in our program. So in June of 2018, we started our first class. 2 sessions of 10-week training classes began. And we had 24 Burmese women, and 1 newly arrived refugee asylum seeker from Venezuela. In the fall of 2018, the Tulsa tailor joined our village. Shay Haining is an amazing seamstress and tailor. And so because our goal is economic empowerment for the women, Shay and Seen immediately connected, and Shay hired Seen to help her sew. And Shay also taught a serger class. So if you don't know what a serger is, go look that up. I did not know what one was. But it was amazing to watch these women because sewing is actually empowering. So I didn't know that, but the women knew that. So they knew that sewing is more than a hobby, and they began to see the possibilities for what could happen. So 38 women are now in the RISE program in the fall of last year. Our village is growing, and we have then over 30 women who are on the waiting list. So we were a little bit overwhelmed, but the women said, "We're going to keep going forward." So in September of 2018, Inshan Lee joined our program. She's basically a sewing prodigy. In 10 weeks, she went from a beginner to an instructor. And then she began to design. And she brought women into the idea of, let's design products. We can do this. And so they did. They began to get together and meet, and they designed these upcycled products. And so I began to realize, okay, sewing is like really a creative thing. It's not just a thing you do with a machine. This is creativity. This is igniting their creative energy. So here are some of the products that they have come up with. A grocery bag that the interior is a pet food bag for easy clean out. A zipper bag with an upcycled rice bag. And then a fabric basket made with donated material and cardboard. So sewing is local. There's not a lot of textile manufacturing going on in Tulsa. And so they began to think of, what if we started this cut and sew workshop? So I said, sounds great. Their first order was tote bags made from vinyl conference banners. So these basically are those conference banners that you see, well, you can't recycle them. So they did beautiful tote bags for our first customer, Tahira and Ada. So I still don't sew, but this is fine. These women are empowered to take this forward and to move in directions that we couldn't have even imagined. And it's pretty exciting to think about. So I invite you to connect with us at risingvillage.org. We have Facebook, Facebook, Instagram, and you can continue to follow our story. So thank you so much.